Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be doing the technical analysis for Bitcoin, Ether, and maybe a couple of others. Not too much. We haven't been doing a lot of coins lately, just because the market hasn't been that good, and I'll show you why. Our main goal here at Altcoin Mentors is to help as many people as possible achieve their goal of financial freedom. We believe trading cryptocurrencies is an opportunity of a lifetime. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of where Bitcoin and the other crypto markets are going. If you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. You can also follow us on YouTube. The link is down below. Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin. So here is the weekly chart for Bitcoin. As you can see in our last video, I drew these two blue lines because that's where the market has been. And even though it's been a couple of weeks since I've made a video, it's exactly in the same place, which is in this little range. So if you look at it on a daily basis, right, you'll see it as well. So basically, we're in a range between 4,400 and 3,250. The trend is definitely down. It has been for a very, very long time. You can see it here. I talked about it over here. Gave lots of warnings. I know that some of the people don't like our channel because we have always been negative about the price of Bitcoin. And the reason we've been negative is because the charts tell us to be negative. It's not that I have a negative opinion of Bitcoin. I actually think that the technology, the blockchain technology, everything is great. And, I think it has very good promise. But the value proposition of it, what people are willing to pay for Bitcoin was high, according to the charts. And the charts, remember, are always about buyers and sellers, right? Which is basically supply and demand, because that's where the value is. So people say things like, oh, this is undervalued. Well, why is it undervalued? The marketplace tells you that this is the price, right? So the market is always right. And that's the key. So when we look at technical analysis, the idea is that the charts are always right. Our opinions, don't matter that much because the charts will tell us the direction of the markets. So you can hold and hold and hold. Who knows? Maybe you held it for a long time. So I know a lot of people who actually started trading Bitcoin last 2 years ago, 2017 now, in the fall. And what they did was they bought it around 4,000 to 6,000. Once, there was a huge media buzz about it in the fall of 2017. Everything was going crazy. Then it started skyrocketing up. And then I know a lot of people, the same people, when it was around 6,000, just barely after they got in, they got out. And they basically said, I'm not going back in again. Because there was so much hype, so much news, and they feel like they just got suckered in. And so this is the range. The reason why I like Bitcoin nowadays is that volume has picked up a little bit, not too much, but I'm only trading Bitcoin and Ether and also Chainlink. Because the other ones, the volumes are pretty dead, right? And not only are the volumes dead, but the value of them are going down even against Bitcoin, which is also going down. So it's basically, not worth anything. So the idea was if you're going to be almost like a forex pair, like let's say you take the USD versus the euro, when one goes up, the other one should go down, right? So that's why this technology, these coins, a lot of them are just going to go to zero because there's no need for them, right? So right now for Bitcoin is going down, 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 down. If you look at it on a 6 hour, the trend is also down. It has been ever since it broke through 6,000 range. You see it. It's never been, any higher. So it's just going down, down. And this is just a basic 50 and 200 cross setup here. So every time it gets near the 200, it seems to just go down. It's been trading in a range for a very long time. We're in between 4,300, 4,400 and 3,200, as I said. We have major resistance at 4,400, 3,780 around there is medium support, which is now medium resistance. Because see what happened? So it broke here, it became support, came close to the top of the range, broke down, hovered around, tried to go past it, didn't, and then started to come back down. And now it's on its way back down to 32.30. and below it is my next target, which is 29.59, which is major support. So let's see where it'll go, or where I think it will go if it breaks that level. So if it breaks 2900, then really the next level for me is 1821. Below that is 1161, and then 783. So I'll put it in log so that's better to see. But most of you already know that I don't like log, right? The reason is, I'll show you why I don't like it. Right, so this is the reason why. So if you look at it in log scale, as it goes up, based on percentage from the previous price, it looks like the market has gone up and stayed there. So it's gone high. But there's a big difference, like percentage-wise, going from 480 to where we are now, which is around 3,400. Right, you're talking about like 8x. Right, so then going from 20,000 all the way down doesn't seem like, it's not going down 8x. That's what log scale looks like, right? So, but just in terms of dollars, you can't have a chart that looks like it's going higher. The difference between 400 and 3,700 is bigger than the difference between 20,000 and 4,000. So that's why I don't like log scale, because what it does is it gives you a tainted view of reality. And so if it breaks 2950, then the next level is 1820, 1160, 780, 480, 305, and then all the way down to 161. So right now, on a shorter time frame, if you look at it, all I've been doing recently is just been shorting and taking some profits. The reason why is I talk about it all the time when it comes to range. And volume. When there's no volume, you have to just take profits because runners are not coming. Right, so this is what the market has been like for the last 2.5 months. So it made this big drop here, and then it just kind of gone sideways. So let's look at it from a bigger time frame. All right. Okay, so basically the whole summer last year, it ranged, right? So you look at where the beginning was in June all the way till November, summer to fall, it was within this little range. Boom, one big price down, and then now since November, right, the middle of November till now, for 3 months, it's also been in a range. So what is it going to do? Is it going to range and then go up, or is it going to range and go back down? So my money is on range and going back down because that's what it did in the past. And until new buyers come into the marketplace, right now there's too much supply and not enough demand. So the reason why there's so much supply is that when you look at companies like BitMEX and all the other exchanges and how they make their money, they have to pay people. They have to pay for stuff. They have to pay for websites, IT, security. They have to pay their personnel. And guess what? They're not paying them with Bitcoin. They're paying them with cash. So what's happening is that there are thousands of exchanges out there, a couple of big exchanges run by a couple of big people. And you know what they're doing with their Bitcoin as they're making it? They have to sell it because they have to pay for stuff, right? And there's so much supply out there, so much supply. So because there's so much supply, there's not enough demand because there are no new buyers coming to the marketplace. For now, Bitcoin is going to be going down. So let's look at Ether. So Ether, I have been very, very aggressive with my Ether shorts. I'll show you here. So this is the weekly. So this is log. Again, it looks great, right? So it goes from $10 all the way up to $1,300. And right now, look at like it's in the middle, and you're like, wow, it's only in the middle. No, it went from $10 to $140, right? So that's half the page, and then $1,200 to $140 is the other half. So that's not right. So you take out log, and this is what the chart looks like. And now, guess what? This looks bad, right? It looks very, very bad. So on the dailies, it's going down. I keep a lot of stuff on my charts. So this is, if you look at it here, all the way in August. Here, I put a little circle around it. This was when it was in a range. And I said that if it breaks this range, it's going to go all the way down. And I told them it's going to go down to 200, to the 150s. People didn't believe me, to 100. That's what the charts tell me. And it broke, and it broke hard. And all I've been doing is shorting Ether all the time. Even as it's gone up, I wait for an opportunity to short. Now, do I go, I'm not a big believer in Elliott wave or these little areas, so I don't just go in and just put a sell order at certain places. I wish I could, because then I would have made a lot of money, a lot more money. Because if I put a sell order in at 140, 168, just hey, I think this is where it's going to go. No, I don't do that. What I wait for is I wait for the curve. So did I get in at 168? No. But guess what? I got somewhere around 150, and I'm holding it, and I made a bunch of money all the way down to the current price right now, about 104. My stop loss is at 120, which will be a profit taker. So I'm going to make like 30 bucks off of this stuff. So I'm going to make 20% off this trade. So that still looks pretty good. So you have to be able to understand where the marketplace is, what it's been doing, and you don't need a lot of indicators or technicals. The trend, as I've always said, is your friend. Everyone knows it, but everyone wants to catch the highs and catch the lows, right? And I don't trade like that, and I've been successful for over 20 years, just looking at the charts, getting rid of my own personal opinions, and just letting the charts talk to me. So basically, it did the same thing. It went sideways, went down, it went sideways for a long time. And someone asked me on Telegram about like how we did in 2018. So Ether chart is a great example of how we did. So in the beginning of this year, we did really well in the first quarter because there was so much action, right? To the downside. Then in quarter 2 and Q3, it went sideways. It went up for a little bit, so we did okay. Right, but at the end of Q2 and Q3, it just went sideways for a long time. So we didn't make that much money. We actually lost money. And then in Q4, things started moving again, and we made a lot of money. I think we were up 40% in the fourth quarter of last year. And then in the beginning of this year, right now we are currently around a small little profit because I'm looking to short, and so there weren't that many opportunities. So we were a little bit negative in the beginning, but over the last week or so, the market has turned into our favor, and we've been making money again. So right now, Ether looks like it's going to go down even further. So we'll talk about the price of where it can go. If it breaks this level here, right, so we have support level drawn right here. That's where it stopped, and that's the level from here as well. And if you go all the way back, it goes all the way over here. Right? So this was our major support line at 84. It hit it like almost on the dot. And where do we get that line from? From over here. And then it went back up, slowed down over here, resistance, support, support, support. Now it breaks 84. Then it's really in trouble because the next level from 84 is 45, then it's 15, and then it's 950. Okay, so for a bit of good news, let's look at Chainlink. So Chainlink has been a very good surprise. It's one of the few that have gone up against Bitcoin. So I think it's been doing pretty well. On a weekly basis, it looks pretty good. On a daily basis, it looks very good. I had a line here on the weeklies, and this was the line. If it crossed back up there, then I thought it was going to go higher. That was a while ago. So here it hit resistance up to the top. It hit support. It broke through support, but the body closed here from here, and now it looks like it's headed a little bit higher over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm waiting for a retest of this area here, and then I will go long again. So because in here, I didn't really short Chainlink because you can't short it on Binance. So I have to wait for it to go to the upside. I did go in around here, but then I took a small little profit up to the top because basically what I did was I went in here 12625. When it broke past resistance at 12871, I just moved up my stop loss to a small profit taker at 12871, which is resistance because it closed above it, and then it kicked me out with a small little profit. And now if I do get back in again, I'm going to get in at hopefully at a better price around 12782. So that is how I trade. So I'm just looking for it to go up. So until it really clears this zone, what I'd like to do is test, because it's testing. So if it tests this area here, then and breaks it higher. So if it goes higher here, I'm going to do the same thing. If it closes above here, I'm going to put my stop loss right below this support line at 12871, because it becomes support once it crosses. Right now it's resistance. So if it breaks through resistance, closes above it, I'll put my small profit taker over at 12871. And then if it breaks this channel up to the top, if it creates a new higher high, because the thing here is we don't know if this is a higher low, right? Because what happened is that we have a higher high here, higher low, but now we have a lower low. Now we have a lower low, lower low. We have a higher high. Is this really a low? Yeah, maybe. But we have a higher high, but is this a higher low? Because if it breaks down, then it's not. Then that's why it's still a little bit confusing right now. So because of that, we have to wait a little bit, and that's really what I'm going to do, because I'm not a gambler. I'm here to make money. That's really what why I trade. I don't trade because I really love this thing, or am gonzo about making all these videos, right? I trade because that's how I make my living. I pay all of my bills, send all of my kids to college just from trading. So because for me, I want to make money from this, and that's what I've been doing. So if you look at some of the other ones, if you look at things like EOS, for example, here it's going down, so it's weak because EOS versus Bitcoin, price of Bitcoin is going down, EOS is going down. That's no good, right? Let's look at Monero, same thing. Icon, right? Same thing, and Icon has been trading flat, for months. Enigma, right? Same thing. ZRX, which was one of my favorites, by the way, for a while here. I thought it was going to make a nice little run, but as I said, it never got past here, and you need to create a new higher high, create a new lower low, so you have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, but it really needed to break this, and it never did. And once it created new lower lows, it went lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now it looks like it's going to make a new lower low and try to test this support level over here. So Link looks good. Raven is a little bit too early to tell, but it spiked up when it got listed and then just came right back down. And then there's Ren, right, which hasn't done anything either. So the only three things I've been trading lately are XBT, because as you know, I don't trade on Bitfinex anymore. I'm only trading on BitMEX. Because there's no volume on Bitfinex. Bitfinex was the #1 exchange for a long time. It went from BitThumb, which was a Korean exchange, and now it's dead. Then it went to Bitfinex, right? And now all the volume is just on BitMEX. And what you need to do is you need to trade where the volume is at. So you get better fills, you get more action. That's the key, because if you're trading like a tenth of a Bitcoin, maybe you don't need it. But if you're trading more in size, you need to be with a bigger exchange that can handle the volume, right, without creating huge spikes. And that's really the key. And that's why the only market exchange that's out there now that I think can handle that are Binance and BitMEX. But for Bitcoin and Ether, I'd rather do it on BitMEX. So I hope you enjoyed watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We thank you very much for watching. If you like our videos, please share it with your friends and other crypto traders. You can also follow us on Twitter and Telegram. And soon we're going to be rebranding ourselves, because I've been trading for over 20 years, and most of the instruments that I make money off of are in index futures and on Forex. So we're going to be adding more instruments, because one of the things that I like about cryptocurrencies is that it introduced a whole new generation to the possibility of trading for a living, because it showed people in a broader sense through technology, how people can make a living off of trading. For decades, like day traders, we made our living quietly. We were never in the spotlight. And then recently with crypto trading, and then the reason why is because with crypto trading, what you can do is you can trade in tenths or hundredths, of a lot. So when you have a stock like Apple, you can't buy 1/10 of Apple, right? If you trade a futures contract you need at least $6,000. So for a lot of people, it was hard to do that. That's why we started doing altcoin mentors, because we wanted to help people who didn't have that much money try to become financially independent. We hope that this has whetted your appetite for trading, and maybe you would want to trade index futures and forex. Because what's happened over recently in the last few years, especially in forex and in futures, is that new products have come out, and now you are able to trade in lots of tenths and hundredths, of a contract. So because of that, what it does is it opens the door for more and more people. And it creates more opportunities, and none of that could have happened without crypto trading. So I'll say that again. None of that could have happened without crypto trading, because it brought in technology, it brought in more people, and all these exchanges said, "Wow, we could grab more people. More people are interested in trading." So a lot more exchanges created new products called CFDs, contracts for differences, and in those you can trade in smaller lots, right? Not just forex, but for indexes as well. And so because of that, you have an opportunity to make money for a living. So we thank you again for watching, and see you in our next video.